Tonight's the night. At least, I think it is. Mark is a good man, and I really love him, but subtle he isn't. He's been acting strange all week, dropping hints. I think he's going to propose. I'm so excited. These last few years with him have been the best of my life. He's handsome and kind, and treats me like I'm his queen. He makes me feel every day like I'm the most special person in the world. And I feel the same about him. I asked my friend Amy, and she thinks I'm right and said I should make the night special. So I went to this boutique around the corner and picked up a cute red dress. It cost too much, really, but it'll be worth it to see the look on his face. Then I decided to go all out. I took the night off without telling him so that I could decorate the apartment and cook his favorite meal, steak and baked potatoes. He always loves that, and I love making him happy. I can't wait to see his expression when he gets here. It's almost time. I'm in my new dress, my hair and makeup are done. I stopped at the salon, going all out, remember? The food is ready, the candles are lit, and the wine is chilled. He's always liked a nice red. He opened the door and stopped in his tracks when he saw me. I love that I can have that effect on him. He walked in, gave me a kiss that took my breath away, and asked what the occasion was. I told him I missed him and wanted to show him how much he meant to me. He seemed really touched, and we sat down to dinner. It was amazing, if I do say so myself. And he said so, too. Ha! We enjoyed the food, the wine, and the company. I couldn't have asked for a more romantic evening. Afterward, he looked nervous and said he had something to ask me. Was this it? I told him he could ask me anything, my heart ready to explode in my chest. And then it happened. He got down on one knee and asked me to be his wife. I asked him if he was sure he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me, and he said he'd never been more sure of anything and took me in his arms. And as he held me, my pincer extended and penetrated his back. He struggled at first, but I held on tight with all four arms, because that's what you do for the person you love. He's been webbed to the wall for hours now. I made sure the strands are comfortable, but not too loose. He'll be surprised when he wakes up, and there may be some tough times ahead. But we'll get through them, him and me. Together, forever. Because that's what true love is. I jerk to life and come to a seated position in my bed. Fourth one this week. The nightmares would never stop. The cold sweat grounds me in the moment before I swing my legs over the edge of the bed and make my way to the bathroom, my long tail dragging behind. 6 years have passed since I fled my circumstances. The people here, with their strange diversity, accepted me with open arms. Or rather, the me I've portrayed. To them, I am just a happy-go-lucky spaz. Always laughing and joking and bouncing off the walls. They can't see it's a mask. I was just a child when it happened. My people were a peaceful race, calm and loving. There had not been war in my homeland for 1,000 years prior to the invasion. We were strong in number but weak in resources. Our large numbers had always been our greatest asset, but no number could have saved us from our inevitable fate. My family, my friends, neighbors, classmates. I watched helplessly as they were all taken one by one and terminated like pests. We fought back, but the complete and total genocide of my people was orchestrated in days. And for what? Dogma? Politics? Culture? My entire race was obliterated for ideas passed down from other people. I'm shaking uncontrollably now, but remembering is supposed to help. I force myself to continue. When our villages had turned to ash and our crops were blown to bits, they began implementing other tactics. The survivors wished they hadn't. The details are too painful today. Remembering this part will have to wait. We never had a chance. After my mother's death, I swore I'd save myself. Against odds, I found my way to the river. I grabbed hold of a piece of driftwood and let the current free me. When the river could take me no further, I continued on foot until I found civilization. I bounced from place to place for a few years before settling at my current home. I've gotten better over the years. The people here had never saw another like me. They don't know I'm the very last of my kind. As far as they know, I'm simply the only one. I drill it into their minds daily, but they never ask why. And I'm thankful for that. I tell them it's my best quality. I tell them it's the absolute best thing about me, that I'm the only one. But I'm not. There were more. Hundreds of thousands more. My family, my friends. Where my home once stood is a mountain of ash and memories, an empire erased. Our numbers were our greatest strength. There are no more of us left. The realization hits me once more as the tears fall like bombs. There are no more Tigers. I'm the only one. The end of the world is probably one of the most debated topics on Earth. There are probably over 100 different speculations on how the world is going to end. A lot of people have different ways they envision the world ending. The religious preached that the end was via Armageddon or Judgment Day, while the non-religious had different opinions. Those who believed in science claimed that the sun would one day swell, dangerously increasing the temperature of the Earth and leaving it a scorched wasteland. Others claimed the sun would become a supernova and explode, taking the entire Milky Way galaxy with it. Then some claimed the world would meet its end the way the dinosaurs met theirs. They believed we would be wiped out by meteors. Well, they weren't too far off. The year was nearly at an end when satellites picked up a flurry of objects hurtling towards the Earth from outer space. They looked like and were shaped like asteroids but weren't made of stone or rocks. They were fluffy and cute and looked like extraterrestrial dust bunnies. Scientists said it was cosmic dust that had somehow clumped together and gained enough mass to have destructive properties. The world watched helplessly as they made an impact on the Earth. When they hit, the world was devastated. Some crashed into the sea and being large clumps of dust, soaked up the Earth's oceans and brought about a global drought crisis. Some landed on cities, leveling them, and destroying human civilization, leaving many dead and displaced. Others landed in and around volcanic sites. They caught fire, sending up large volumes of carbon and other greenhouse gases, drastically raising the planet's temperature and altering climates and ecosystems. The entire world was in ruins, and more than half the population was lost in barely half a year since the dust bunnies hit, and more were projected to die in the following months. Earth's population further declined, and the population was estimated to be around a few hundred million. The remaining few rejoiced in surviving the apocalypse and were soon making plans of rebuilding the Earth and civilization. Earth's greatest problem of overpopulation had been eradicated. The future seemed bright. The joy of the human race was short-lived, as they soon realized that those who had died were really the lucky ones. The real apocalypse had not been from the dust bunnies. The real danger came from the nightmarish creatures that soon emerged from deep within the dust bunnies. Heaven help the survivors.